been a bit of a shame, but Australia, of course, old foes of everybody who's ever played here. There is the situation in terms of the World Series, wins and losses between the two sides. Australia, of course, got the lion's share. Certainly a good confrontation. I think Wales have been coming on stronger as this tournament has been progressing. And you can see there in terms of tries for and against, well, Wales have just got the edge at the moment. Certainly some very interesting statistics. Andy Nicol, who's your favourite for this one?
Well, it's a tough one actually, Paul, because I agree with you. I think Wales have got better. They've got a lot of experience there, and I think Australia are a bit more inexperienced, but they've got some good players as well. So yeah, I expect Nick McLeod in his number 5 shirt, and Alan Brew, he's got a lot of pace there. But there's guys like Jonathan Edwards and Richard Pugh, who've been around the Wales 7th circuit for a long time, will probably be the key if Wales are going to win this ball final.
Jonathan Edwards, one of the top try scorers in the tournament so far. There's the Australian lineup once again, led by their captain Sean Mackay, wearing the number 12. And watch out too for potential match winners. Both Peter Owens and William Bishop have had a very good tournament so far. Peter Owens has scored 3 tries altogether. So looking forward now to the teams appearing here. It's a little bit darker than it was about half an hour ago. The floodlights have just come back on again. There's Sean Mackay, was substituted in the semi-final against France, maybe just saving himself for the final. The Welsh there, and one unfortunate gentleman who's not actually going to end up seeing this final. But certainly the Australians looking very, very keen and eager to win this one. James Balabiu from Fiji, nice moment for him too. This tournament has got a reputation for bringing on new international referees. And certainly a tough one for Wales.
Yeah, but it's one I think they'll think they can win. You know, they've got good players, as we've said. I think it's quite an even match-up here. I think Australia have showed glimpses that they're a good side, but not enough consistency. So I think we're in for a good one here.
Well, we hope so. Australia have kicked off, and straight away Alan Brew goes high for it. Picked out of the back there by Richie Pugh, one of the players that you mentioned. Is certainly one of the most experienced players in the Welsh setup. James Lewis taking it on. Spun back there by Martin Roberts. 4 tries he scored in the tournament. Now, if this guy gets moving, he's going to be tough to stop, that's for sure. Laid back well there for the Welsh, as an Australian on the wrong side though.
Yep, hands in the ruck there. As soon as the ruck's formed, can't put hands on the ball. It's a very contentious issue. You see the frustration. Let's see what the referee says.
It's Matthew Hodgson from Australia.
Roll away quickly, leave the ball when the whistle's gone. And you don't do that again. No, okay? Good.
A little admonishment for both of them there. Nothing too serious.
Just inside the first minute still. It would be a shame if any cards are shown at this stage. But Wales have had all the possession. James Lewis, just a little pop pass there. That was well taken by Nick McLeod. Nick McLeod, of course, a debutant for Wales in this tournament, but Australia have turned it over. Strong running by the Australians. Now, 3 against 3. Hodgson, one of the men that the referee was having a word with, brought down there by the captain, Jonathan Edwards, and Wales have turned it over now. Just a little knock on there, so the referee playing advantage, but they'll have to come back for the scrummage.
Good physical defence there by Wales, and they forced the turnover because in the tackle situation you don't have to get back to your own side, you can just stand up and play the ball, but it just couldn't quite get the ball away there and try and get the continuity going.
Well, certainly a good attacking position for the Australians, just inside Wales's 10-metre line. Wales driving, but Tim Walsh managed to get it away. A switch back inside there by the very nippy Peter Owens.
Come through the gate first.
And that was Richie Pugh that was penalised there, quickly taken by William Bishop. Out to the captain, Mackay. Now this guy is big, but he can motor as well. Goes inside Brew. Back out to Owens, and Owens crashes over for the first score.
Great score there by Peter Owens, but a great play by the skipper, Sean Mackay, who, big man, and he just held the ball in one hand. You can see it here, he takes take a quick penalty, great step. But the big man gets it here, look at the stride length, but he also keeps the ball in one hand, and entertains two defenders. Not the best defence by Wales, and a good try there by Owens.
That's Owens' fourth try at Twickenham over the last couple of days. He would have enjoyed that one, despite the boos from the crowd. The crowd certainly don't let the Australians get away with anything here at Twickenham, do they?
Well, it's not here at Twickenham, Paul. It's everywhere the IRB 7 circuit goes to, whether it be Dubai, Hong Kong, probably in Adelaide, I imagine they get quite a good reception, but Wellington, it's just one of these things. I believe it was through historical when one year in Hong Kong they absolutely blattered a minnow side, and the crowd didn't like it, so they started booing, and ever since people have just continued with it.
Australia 5, Wales 0. There's a mistake there by Aled Brew. He wouldn't have liked that one. Huge knock on, so nothing that Richie Pugh could do about that. Have to come back for the scrummage.
Looking at here, Aled Brew goes up for it, but look, just took his eyes off it. You have to catch the ball first before you decide what you do with it. And again, it's just given good field position to Australia. And Wales can't afford to concede another try this early in this game.
I think he had half an eye on Sean Mackay, who is coming in from the blind side. Meanwhile, Australia attacking once more. The try scorer, Peter Owens, there. Gathered in by two Welshmen, James Lewis, one of them. This time Australia penalised.
No, it's good back.
Certainly a couple of anxious teams out there. And this time Australia marched back 10 metres. And that will lift the spirits of Wales. Richie Pugh on the ball.
I think the referee's going to get frustrated, and I think there could well be cards before the end of the half if both teams continue like this.
So Aled Brew trying to go around the outside, links in well there with James Lewis. Lewis spins it across to Richie Pugh. Now the Welsh are stretching it out. Good run there by James Merriman, back inside. Just slowing it down again, trying to reorganise this Martin Roberts. Roberts in support of Richie Pugh. This could be useful. Got Aled Brew on this side, out wide. Just being shadowed, but he goes inside, he goes outside, he's going to score! Wales get their first score of this final. And the game is all tied up.
Yeah, all tied up. Even balanced. Great finish there by Aled Brew. Tim Walsh, the Australian sweeper, wouldn't be too happy with his attempted tackle, but good play by Wales. They kept the ball, a couple of phases. This was the end of a few phases. Run straight, run hard. You're always going to ask questions. Nicky McLeod there, gives it to Aled Brew. A good step here, not the best tackle, but it's this one here. Tim Walsh had him and then didn't. And you've just got to hold on to them, or they'll score tries like that.
Good kick, good 2 points. Very useful indeed for Wales. But it's a bit too early to be talking about a victory, but Wales have beaten Australia. Only a couple of times they have beaten them in World Cup history, but last time they beat them was in February this year in the quarterfinals of the bowl competition in San Diego. So they know they have the beating of the men from down under. And that kick goes deep into the arms of Tim Walsh, who spins it away to William Bishop. And Bishop's been a very useful player. He's got gas all right, he's got a good turn of speed, and boy oh boy is he going to score right underneath the posts. Wow, what a try from William Bishop.
Well, what a try. We're about to see on replay one of the best sidesteps you're ever likely to see. Both feet came off the ground, and he didn't know which way he was going to go, and certainly well sweeper. Wait, we'll see this. It's a great step there, but this is not the better one's coming on Nicky McLeod here. Both feet off the ground. Fantastic technique. How far did he move sideways without slowing down? Great ability, great sidestep, great try.
Jonathan Edwards, I think it was the last man beaten there, didn't know which way to turn.
it's a real skill to be able to sidestep without slowing down. But to do it like that and go so far, that's the key. He didn't just move one side, he moved a good yard and a half to his left, which threw the defence completely, and finished with a great try.
So there's the half-time score, Australia 12, Wales 7. Well, it is a remarkable record that Australia have, and I think it would stretch the imagination to wonder why Australia are not in the main cup draw at this stage in the competition, but they're rebuilding, they're refashioning their side. There's a lot of new names have come in. I mean, people like Sean Mackay have been there for a long time, but largely it's a pretty new team, rather like the Welsh team in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, I think the Welsh team under Gareth Barber, the coach, has probably got a bit more experience. I don't know, in the last few years, Paul, Australia don't seem to have taken the Sevens too seriously, in the sense of they seem to be journeymen that are playing rather than young players that are up and coming. I've not really witnessed too many coming from the Australia Sevens team into, for example, the Super 14 teams and onto the Wallabies. So I don't know quite where it fits in their list of priorities in Australia, but I would imagine not very high.
Well, there certainly is a huge amount of pressure on young Australians to play Super 14. Having said that, when Glenn Ella was in charge of the Australian outfit, he took quite a few players through from the seven-a-side team through to Super 14. I guess it just depends on the sort of policy of the day, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, we saw the records there of which cups and shields and bowls have been in. Aside, a country steeped in rugby as much as Australia is, and with as many good players as they have, should have been in more cup competitions and cup finals than they have been.
So Nick McLeod restarting for Wales. Wales would love to hit Australia pretty soon and get more points on the board. It's Australia in charge at the moment, but only by 5 points. Swung out wide to Matthew Hodgson. Now this fella is big and strong, but he can motor as well. Oh, and I'm quite sure there that Nick McLeod thought he had a break on.
Well, he said it, the referee, Bully Boy, saying that it was an early tackle. Early tackle. You know, you can get penalised for late tackles, obviously, but you can also get penalised for an early tackle, preventing the intended recipient getting the ball. I thought it was a marginal call. I thought it was absolutely bang on the same time as the ball was coming, which, you know, sometimes goes for you, sometimes doesn't. But the referee made the call, and Australia now have the line out.
So William Bishop punting the ball up towards the halfway line. That was well taken by the captain, Sean Mackay. Very tidy by the Australians. Getting themselves into a bit of a mess there. It's a good tackle there coming in on Tommy Powell.
Jonathan Edwards just stood his ground, watched what was happening, read it very well. Australia were trying to wrap around, but Jonathan Edwards read it. Look at here, he just came off. He came off Tim Walsh and just made the big hit and forced the turnover.
He's trying to steal the ball as well, not just tackle the man. Very good by Edwards. So James Lewis now, way out wide to Aled Brew. Aled Brew managing to retain possession for the Welsh team just on the halfway line. Good movement by Wales. Merriman goes inside. Oh, couldn't quite get the pass to Martin Roberts. And watch this guy go again. Can anybody catch William Bishop? Yes, they can. Terrific tackle by Nick McLeod. Well, I must admit, I thought William Bishop was way gone there, but Australia have still got a chance here through Caleb Brown, and he's going to score in the corner.
Well, good try by Australia. We thought it might come before, but Caleb Brown finished it off. The referee having to explain himself. I thought Wales could have had that penalty rather than Australia, but anyway, once it went out wide, it was just hands. Wales are struggling to get over because they put so many players over to try and stop the initial break, but unfortunately the numbers count, and Australia now look very strong at 19 points to 7 with this conversion attempt to go, and only 4 minutes left.
I think just had a camera shot there as well. We're going to have a Welsh substitution. This is Peter Owens out wide. Oh, look at that. Banana shape, but it was effective. And that certainly creates problems for Wales. They're now 12 points behind. I think we've had a double Welsh substitution. Rodri McAtee has come on. Not just the single substitution it was, and we've also had changes. Tommy Powell for Australia has gone off. So 2 sets of fresh legs have come on. Now, Aled Brew underneath that one, takes it well. Sean Mackay in attendance though, so making life difficult, but Jonathan Edwards cleans up. Richie Pugh there, sends it back into the middle. Aled Brew looking for a bit of contact with the ball, which he gets. Oh, look at this. A little bit of dancing there from James Lewis. That was a brilliant kick from Aled Brew. Now then, 4 against 3. Australian defence though just drifting across, so Rodri McAtee decides to go inside, spun away by Richie Pugh. Aled Brew once more. It's not all over. 2.5 minutes to go. Australia leading by 19 points to 7. Aled Brew bursting through the middle. Good tackle though by Tim Walsh.
Through the gate.
Wales can send it out wide now. There is a chance, a little flick pass there. Rodri McAtee goes over. But they still need another score after this one.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time though. They needed to get it though in that 30-second period. They've looked good in these last minute or so. Wales showed a few opportunities there. They've kept their patience, which is key. They just allowed the chance to come. Richard Pugh looks up past. It wasn't really a flick, he just almost let it go past them, which was the right decision for McAtee to score in the corner. 19 points to 12. This is an absolute vital kick. If they can get this over, then they've got a real chance here.
Crucial kick, which goes askew by Nick McLeod. But what a time to score your first tournament try.
Well, absolutely vital if Wales were going to get back in it. Now, as it is, they've got a chance to get a try that could give an equalising 7 points to take this into extra time. But again, you see the importance of Tim Walsh getting a kick from a similar angle for Australia and Wales not, and that's why Australia still have a chance to win out this game and win the ball final.
Another Welsh substitution. Andy Powell coming on. I think it's Aled Brew who's taking a rest. And once again, that'll be Nick McLeod to restart.
Come on.
No, Aled Brew is still on the park. In fact, the kick goes to him. That was well taken, almost came off. Richie Pugh diving in there to try and pick it out.
Easy.
Well, there was no cause, but then there was a penalty there. The ground. When you're on the ground, you can't play the ball there. But Peter Owens tried to play the ball before he got to his feet, and I think Wales, although getting the puck put into the scrum, could have had a penalty, but they've still got the ball and there's a minute to go, and they need a try and the conversion to take this into extra time.
Good possession by Wales. Rodri McAtee has it. Certainly has made a difference to the team since he came on. Of course, he scored that try as well. Nick McLeod going through the middle. Good tackle though by the Australians. McAtee once more. Now to Richie Pugh. Richie Pugh finds Jonathan Edwards. Edwards doing well to stay on his feet.
Yeah, but they've got the penalty here. They must try and score as close to the post as possible.
It's got to be a converted try, and even that would only tie things up. Rodri McAtee goes once more. Australian hands in there. They're going to have to be very careful. The ball has to be released. And Jonathan Edwards just taking his time. They've got to make this one count. Is it going to go far? Yes, it is, my goodness. That was inches too far, and there's only 5 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it was a bad decision by Aled Brew. You know, even if they'd got it, it was going to be out wide. I just thought you had to put a step in it, and as it is, it's the last play. He had to have a go, he had to keep that ball in hand. A step there, and his size and pace, he'd have been very hard to stop. As it is, you can see the frustration. He knows he's made a bad decision, which has given Australia the ball final.
So some consolation after what has been a pretty poor season by Australia's standards. Nevertheless, they've come here to Twickenham and they've won this competition. They've won the bowl. They've beaten Wales by 19 points to 12.
So the Sevens to collect the ball. To be protected by Roy Patrick from North Towns and the European President Portugal. The 2008 ball winners in the LON7s Australia. So once again, the winners of all 2009 Australia. Next up, it's a Southern Hemisphere battle for the plate in the final between New Zealand and South Africa. Following that one, possibly two of the most entertaining teams in World Sevens, Samoa and Fiji. One of them will become champions of the Emirates